I'm here with actor Kelvin Harrison Jr. Thank you for taking time to sit down with me.
Thank you for having me.
Now you have a big movie coming out. It comes at night.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, why don't you talk a little bit about how you decided to pursue acting professionally? I know you had a family full of musicians, kind of tuned into Disney, and that's what started your journey.
Yeah. So, yeah, my parents are musicians. My dad's a saxophonist, and my mom's a jazz vocalist, and she was a dancer. And we're very like the traditional New Orleans family. So I started off playing jazz piano and trumpet and singing. And it was really strict. I would go to school from like 8 to 3, and then from 3 to 6 I would go to like a creative arts school, and I would study jazz instrumental. And from there I would go and practice for like 3 hours. But then I was looking for another outlet, and I saw this film called Imitation of Life, and I was something about that made me feel something, and I was like, I want to do that, whatever that is, but I didn't necessarily know what to call it. So then I would watch Disney Channel all the time, and I'd be like, well, this looks like fun, this looks like something appropriate, because, you know, I don't know, I didn't see anything else other than something like, I don't know why I love the Disney Channel so much. I watched a lot of Disney movies too, a lot of Sleeping Beauty and...
Your inner Zac Efron was just
just begging to come out. So yeah, I started doing that. I remember getting my sister to take an 8x10 of me on my digital camera in the kitchen. It was awful. I put it in an envelope. I sent it off to a casting director because I googled how to be on the Disney Channel, and that's how I found out how to get an agent and all that stuff like that. And then I looked, and then I got I went off for an audition for an extra role in this game, and I got upgraded to a speaking role. I had one line. But the way the movie worked, we ended up being there for 4 months because, you know, the kids in the armies have to keep coming back. So that one day I was a player, and the other days I was just an extra pretty much. But yeah, I met Viola Davis and Harrison Ford, and I was that kid that I needed to ask questions, and I asked them some questions, and she told me it's a craft, and that if I'm really serious about it, I should give it some classes.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, and then the next job I got was 12 Years a Slave, and then I was an actor.
There you go. I guess if you're going to get advice from anybody, those two would certainly be two of the top people to ask.
They're both phenomenal actors, right?
Yeah, and much like their careers, you started in doing Disney musicals, and then you've done nothing but lighthearted comedies and singing and dancing ever since.
It's great, you know. It's like I wanted it so bad, and like the switch of like the exact opposite of Disney is basically happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool.
Do you ever miss that? Would you like to go back to that more carefree, happy, singing, dancing type thing?
I still want to do a musical. I'll do something like that, but I don't know if I would do. I don't know if I'd do like a Disney movie.
Right.
I don't think that's gonna be in my near future.
Yeah, I think you've broken away from that a little bit. So as I mentioned, you have done some pretty heavy work for someone so young, and you're going to be 23 in July. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know, it's so old. It's like 70 in Hollywood, right?
I know some girls that like literally lie about their age. They like one I have a friend who just celebrated their 25th birthday, and she's really making 35. But anyway, why did I put that on blast?
Now, you've done a bunch of Project Roots and some real heavy stuff. How did you prepare for that at such a young age? I know acting is obviously playing other characters, but to have the talent to pull something like that off.
I don't even know. I remember, you know, you're in class, you learn all these tools, and you don't really know how to use them until you get a job where you can use them. So then you start playing around with everything you've learned and hoping it clicks. And I remember with Roots, I was like, I'm gonna be very method, and I was just playing around with what works for me, you know. So like, I remember I had these thick journals, and I read all these books, like the Frederick Douglass's biography, or what is it, autobiography? I don't know. But I read these books, and I remember just writing these journal entries of all these years, because I played a character named Winslow, and he was in this cover for 7 years, and I got on the treadmill every day, and I ran the amount of miles and I lost all this weight, and I did this weird diet where I only ate oatmeal 3 times a day, and it was bad. I was like 100. I was like, no, I was like 100 pounds.
Wow.
It was scary, and I was just really irritable, and my performance was terrible in my opinion. But I learned so much about myself as an actor, and I guess my process during that experience. So yeah.
And you went on to play in Birth of the Nation
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And then you were also on this past season of Shots Fired,
Yeah.
which was another heavy,
Yeah.
heavy piece. And you did an episode of Chicago PD.
Yeah, I did.
I remember very well when I saw the photo with you and Marina.
Yeah.
What's it
Oh,
like
Marina, she's
delving? Yeah, what's it like delving into such heavy, heavy projects when, you know, when that wasn't your trajectory in the beginning?
It's interesting because you really don't know. I guess I'm discovering that this stuff has always been a part of me, and it's something that I feel like I need to express. And these have just been outlets. I don't know why I was so interested in doing something like the Disney Channel. I guess to me it's like it's kind of delusional in thinking that I was that.
That, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's so much you go through, and you start to really examine your life once you start to get these opportunities. Because it wasn't like I was looking for these opportunities. These would just be the ones that would work out for me. I would go on a bunch of different auditions, and those were the ones that I got. And I started to pay attention as to why. You know what I mean? Why am I getting these jobs? And it had something to do with where I was in my life, some things that I was experiencing in life, and these were now outlets, and I had something to offer to these roles. And it's heavy, but it's real.
And now
it's important, I guess, for me to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, and now Shots Fired was 2017, and now your movie that has just come out now, It Comes at Night.
Yeah.
Another intense
Yeah.
piece for different reasons. What was your process for that movie and for playing Travis? I know there's like a psychological thriller, but there's also the family element to it as well. So it's kind of a blend.
Yeah, for me, I remember getting the script after I did my first tape and everything, and I read it on the plane. I was getting ready to go to do D. Reese's film Upbound, and I shot my part in Hungary. So it was a long flight, and I read the script twice, and I cried like a baby, because I immediately identified with Travis and that family drama aspect of the film, because once again, it's where I was in my life. I was getting ready. I was begging my parents to let me move to LA, and I wanted to kind of go on this new experience and see what's out there for me, and they were just like, no. And I said, no, okay, I'm not gonna go, because you're right, because you know best, and I don't know. And Travis is in this phase of trying to find his voice and trying to understand how to branch out of what he's been taught and what's been instilled in him as a young man, and in these morals and values that you kind of grow up with, but try to see what do you believe in and what do you think is best for you, and feeling comfortable to make those decisions. And so that's where I was, to kind of go, well, you know what, I'm gonna do it anyway. And I remember one day I was sitting in the park and I just bought a ticket to LA, and I was like, I'm leaving. And then I guess for him it's kind of like, I'm gonna make this decision. This isn't right, or this is not what's supposed to be happening. And I guess I found that connection, and I just kind of went from there.
Now this is also a psychological thriller, more so. I mean, it's also got horror elements. Was it behind the scenes and doing the part? Was it creepier for you, since it wasn't such a blood and guts, like, okay, I'm just going to get decapitated and then that's going to be the end of the movie? Like, it was creepy. Was it playing a little bit more into the way you were processing things and your...
We did all the most of the nightmare stuff in like the last week of filming. So by that time, it was everyone was like, okay, we were all kind of tired. So it wasn't as creepy filming it. It was fun, and Trey's fun. Like Trey would say, instead of saying action, Trey would say Boyston's, which is a restaurant we went to in Woodstock. So it would be kind of silly. After a while, we all would just kind of make jokes, and it wasn't very intense at all on set. But excuse me. I don't know. I guess once I understood the symbolism of each nightmare and what they meant and how they gave me information about the dynamics within the family, that's how I kind of navigated those, and it became more about discovery instead of the fear. But when you look at it in the big picture, and watch the whole movie, it is frightening. Right. Because whatever's happening in here is terrifying. Right. You know what I mean?
And I saw an earlier interview where it said you had note cards throughout your entire hotel room and journal entering. Is that something you do for every role, or was it something specific just to this character, just so you can get
I think I started it on that movie because that was my first lead in the movie, so that was the first time I had to like really map out. And I actually did it in Roots too. but it wasn't as much. But yeah, I like to just I get little titles or some little names that kind of describe a scene, and I write down big moments or whatever these moments are in these little note cards, and I arc them just so I can kind of see where I am and where he goes in his journey. And every day we do a scene. If I need to make an adjustment, then I can kind of go, okay, well this happened, and this might change this because now I know this information about my dad or my mom or whatever's happening here. When we change this, now I feel this way. My instincts brought me here today, so it just kind of helps me really map out my character's experience.
Now, there's a lot of buzz around this film, and your performance specifically is getting a lot of buzz. What does that feel like to you as a younger actor to have such praise heaped on you already and really be a focal point of these reviews?
It's cool.
It's cool. You're like, I hate it. They're all wrong. I'm terrible.
It's weird. At the same time, it's like as much as it's cool, and like my manager's really happy about it. But I feel like it's straining. I feel like a pressure because I'm like, well, what did they like and why did they like it?
Right.
Did they like it? I don't know. I don't really know what to think about that, and then it kind of makes me nervous. Like, well, what do they think about the next movie? What did they hate it?
Right. I can see how it'd be a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's as much as it is nice. It's like now you want to be consistent,
Right?
Because this is the first thing I was like, but he was good here.
Yeah.
But will he be good next time?
Right. And we will see in Monster, which is coming out this year. You filmed that here in New York, right, with Jennifer Hudson? What was that experience like?
Oh my God, I literally, because originally I was supposed to finish. I finished It Comes on a Sunday at 3 a.m. and I was supposed to go straight back to the city to start Monster Monday morning. And we pushed the shoot back because that was not going to happen. I barely finished the script, honestly.
Right.
So we pushed it back a month, so I had a month to prepare, and that was a lot of locations, completely different from being in this one house the entire time. Anthony Mandler is amazing, but he's a completely different director as well, and we do a lot of coverage, whereas we're going to see in Trey's film, he does not, you know what I mean? We do these slow push-ins or these wides, and Anthony will get close, wide, and you just need to be on it. You need to be consistent. And I was number one on the call sheet, and that's a different responsibility too, and kind of setting the tone and feeling the responsibility, saying hello and learning everyone's name and kind of creating an environment where you feel like you want to show up to work every day and everyone's inspired. So it's like there's that weight on a 22-year-old who's just starting, and you want to do good work. So it's great. I get to watch amazing people. Jeffrey Wright's phenomenal in the film, as well as Jennifer Hudson, and Jennifer Ely blows me away every time I see her work, and it's exciting. I'm excited for it, and the story's amazing, and it's a great book.
That's exciting. What would you like to delve into comedy, and do you have a voice for that where you feel like you would be really good at that?
I'm not funny.
You're not funny.
I'm not funny.
Except just now, right?
I would love to. This year I tested a lot for this pilot. It was a comedy pilot, and they were like, we think he's got it in him, so let's just work it. It didn't work out. But I was surprised that I got that far. Honestly, I was like, maybe there's something in me that's a little, I don't know. But I would like to.
How about the idea of live theater? Is that something that
I just met with my WME, the theatrical department, the theater department, about doing plays and stuff. They were like, well, what do you know about theater? And I was like, not much. But I still want to do
great reviews right now. I will go out there and I will do it right now.
I just saw Asa with Jennifer Ely, and that's all the Tony noms.
Yes.
And I just talked to her for an hour afterwards. It was just amazing. I was just captivated by it. I've never seen like a real play.
Right.
And I was like, I want to do that. That looks like fun.
And you also have some directing aspirations too. Do you feel you would bring not so much unique, but also knowing how you would do it as an actor, than as you do it as a director? Do you think that not would hinder you, but would also be a benefit?
I hope so. I did a short back when I was in high school, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make the best short ever. You're not gonna see it coming. And we worked so hard on this script, and we had like $15,000 to shoot this short with, and it looks like trash. But I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a lot, and I'm excited to get to do something like that again. But with all the new information I have, and being able to watch people like Trey and Anthony and Nate Parker, who's a writer, actor, director, and writer, and learn from them. And I feel like I have something to offer. We'll see though. That's really, it's too early to
Don't
tell.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Viola Davis. I know you're a huge Kate Blanchett
I
fan.
love Kate Blanchett.
How do you feel being on that other end where people who, although you're 23, have been really breakout
22,
roles?
I'm not 23
You'll be
yet.
23, yes. Having these breakout roles, the responsibility of people now emulating and looking up to you, what's that kind of like to wrap your head around?
I don't think about it.
You don't think-
I
yeah.
don't think about it. I don't think about it. That's weird to think about. I think.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't know. I don't know.
We'll get back to you when somebody says that to you, right?
Yeah.
Now, what do you do to unwind and have a little downtime? What's that like for you? What do you
I
like to
haven't
do?
had that in a while, but because okay, so then the movie I'm doing, I have to learn how to play baseball.
Nice.
So I just got a trainer, and I'm really getting into like this working out thing,
Mhm.
which I used to hate the gym. If you found me on the Monster set, they're like, he's probably eating chocolate cake in his trailer and do whatever. You know what I mean? I just do not like to eat healthy. But now I'm like cooking more and learning. I don't know. Like I spend so much time in the kitchen now, and that's been like my way to like decompress after whatever I'm doing at the time. But
Well, thank you so much for taking time to sit down with me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and all good things are ahead for you. So
yeah, thanks for having
really
me.
cool
Man. This
to
is fun.
interview you. Thank you.